Hi there everyone, it's Jennifer. I hope you're having a great day. In my videos, I usually try to do some sort of technique, but sometimes I think it's fun just to do a video where you talk about ways to look at your stamps and dies a little bit differently and do something unique with them. So I was really needing some kids cards, so I decided to make a bunch, and what I did is I took some stamps and some die cuts and turned them into little characters, which is perfect for kids cards. And I thought I'd go ahead and just do a video while I was making them in case inspired you to do the same. Okay, so for my backgrounds on these cards, I'm using the Avery burst die. I've used this in the past. It's great because it creates these little lines that kind of bring a focus towards the center of the card. I'm also using a fun stamp set from Your Next Stamp. That's the name of the company. That's a new to me company, and I'm really excited about how playful and fun all of their stamps and dies are. So I'm kind of planning out here. I need to make sure that I have enough room for my sentiment, my stamped images, and the arms and legs we're going to add to them when we turn them into characters. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp my hamburger kind of towards the top center of the card. I'm using a My Favorite Things black hybrid ink because this is Copic friendly ink, and I plan to color these with Copics. I'm not going to do any kind of crazy shading, elaborate techniques. I'm just going to color them pretty quickly, so you could use any coloring method that is fast for you. Now this one I'm going to do off to the side and stamp the sentiment next to it. Now when I stamp the sentiments, which are in that same stamp set, I'm going to use my black ink from Hero Arts because that stamps nice and dark and crisp. I only use that hybrid ink from My Favorite Things because it is Copic friendly, and this Hero Arts dye ink is not Copic friendly. You can use it with pretty much everything except Copics. So I could use these images as they are, but I thought it would be really fun and playful and make it great for a kid's card to turn these into characters. So I'm taking two stamp sets. I actually only used the one on the right, but the one on the left would be great to use also. These are from Your Next Stamp, and these do the faces and the arms and legs that you can add to these characters. However, you could do really simple hand-drawn things. You could draw your own face, add Google eyes. You can just use like little stick arms and legs if you wanted to, if you don't have the stamp set, but this stamp set makes it really easy. It's a small set too, so it's very inexpensive. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a little face on all of these and add the legs and the arms. Now I am trying to make these pretty quickly because I just needed to make some cards as fast as I could. So you'll see that I just take out a Post-it note to kind of mask off some areas so that I can stamp the legs on without having to worry about overlapping my stamping. Now I use the little hamburger french fries and the bottle here, but you could turn pretty much any stamp into a character by adding these little expressions in the arms and legs. So you could maybe use a flower or a sunshine or a star, really anything you can really turn into a character, and it's so much fun to do. As I was making these, my kids came up and were so excited, so we're going to stamp some more of these and have the kids do the coloring, and that really makes the cards extra special. Now I noticed I got some black ink from my fingers on the background, so I'm using this mono sand eraser to kind of sand away that ink that I got on the surface, and nobody will ever know. This is a great tool to have. If you have like a paper sanding block, that works also. Great way to just kind of erase those mistakes that you make with inky fingers. Now all I did to these cards was add some coloring with my Copic markers, and I glued them onto a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch note card. Nothing fancy, I just did some quick coloring. Any coloring would work for this. And instead of showing you that coloring, I thought I'd keep the video short and instead show you how you can also do this technique with die cuts. So I took some die cuts that I had on hand. Again, any shape die cut would be fun for this. You could do a rainbow, a star, a house, anything. I'm going to do a little cupcake here. This is a die set from Your Next Stamp, and it creates either two different types of ice cream cones or a cupcake and all the little things that you would want to put on top. Now this die actually scores the little detailed lines in the cupcake liner here, but you really couldn't see them with this light color cardstock. When I have those scored lines from the die, what I like to do is take my C1 light Copic marker, that's a light gray marker, and just draw right along those score lines, and it kind of enhances them and makes them stand out. Okay, so now I need to plan where my die cuts are going to go on this background so that I know where to stamp my arms and my legs. So I'm kind of just putting the die cuts where I want them to be, and then I'm tracing around the edges just a little bit so I know where to stamp the arms and the legs. I'm going to make a second card here with a die cut heart, so I have a little heart character also. So now using those pencil lines as a guide, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the legs and stamp the arms, and then I will glue my die cuts on top of that. And I can also erase those pencil lines. I just needed that so I could do this stamping and not have to worry about accidentally stamping on my die cut. So after erasing my pencil lines, I can go ahead and just use some adhesive to add my die cut pieces to it. Now you could use some foam adhesive if you wanted to pop things up, but I wanted to keep these flat cards because I intend to put some Google eyes on top. So once I have all my pieces down, I can go ahead and stamp the little faces also. Now the eyes look a little funny because they're colored like the cardstock background, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and add some Google eyes on top. So I'm using my Super Strong Ranger Multi-Medium in the matte finish to put a little dot of adhesive on the eyes, and then I'm going to add little Google eyes on top. And don't be afraid to use a black pen to add other things to your card. So I'm going to put little eyelashes on this little cupcake here. You could do eyebrows. You can do all kinds of things just with a simple black pen. You could draw the arms and legs and faces yourself too. Now this die cut that I used for the cupcake from your next stamp also cut little sprinkles. So I die cut the sprinkles from some white cardstock and I put them on the sticky part of a Post-it note just to hold it there while I added some color with some markers. That way I didn't have to die cut from a bunch of different colors of cardstock. I just did it from the white and colored them whatever colors I wanted. For a simple sentiment, I used this stamp set from Clearly Besotted, and I stamped Make-A-Wish on the cupcake and hugs next to our little hearts character. I like stamp sets like this that have lots of sentiments because you can usually find whatever you need in it. At this point, my daughter was saying, add some shimmer, so of course I broke out my Wink of Stella shimmer pen and added a little bit of shine to the die cuts themselves and also to the stamped images. And then I just glued these onto 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 folded note card. Now I hope this inspires you to look at your stamps and dies differently and how you can just add little things to it to turn them into playful characters. These are perfect for kids' cards. If you're interested in the products that I use, I link below in my YouTube description, or you can click here on the top left on my logo to go over to my blog. In the middle are some other kids' cards that you might like also. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit subscribe so you can see more, and I hope to see you again soon.